Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another absolutely fantastic game. This one was truly ridiculous. A fantastic come from behind victory for Colorado. But without saying too much, a like and subscribe would help. A comment always helps. And let's get straight into this. So the final score, you're probably clicking on this. If you're even seeing this, you're probably clicking on this saying, oh, I already know who won this. Colorado wins in double overtime to Colorado State, 43-35. And I mean, truly, just this game, this was actually a phenomenal game. I mean, I know Colorado State really, Colorado should be kicking the shit out of this team, but for whatever reason they weren't. Well, I have a couple reasons why they weren't, but ultimately Colorado is down. They're down 28-17 with like 7 minutes or like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And they come back and tie it with just barely any time left on the clock. Take it to overtime. The first overtime, they both score a touchdown and 1-point conversion. And then the Buffaloes would score a touchdown with the 2-point conversion, which was just a fantastic play by Shedeur. And Colorado State would run one in, and then he would run one in, and then a massive big pick call by a receiver, which was completely the right call, knocks him back, and Colorado State cannot convert the touchdown on 4th and goal. Colorado State falls short of what would have been like an upset for the ages. Colorado was favored by 24.5. They were talking so much shit going into this match. I mean, as well as Colorado State was, but man, Colorado has just been talking that talk, and they almost embarrassed themselves. Now, a major takeaway from this, I wasn't watching this game the whole time because my ASU Sun Devils, who were so fantastic today, were on at the time, and I was more interested in that. Surprisingly, you'd probably find that crazy. And I didn't watch like the whole part of this game because, to be quite frankly honest, I thought Colorado would be able to handle it. Travis Hunter got knocked out of the game and apparently taken to a local hospital by quite a bullshit and pathetic fucking play by Colorado State. He was defenseless, the ball was dropped and hit the ground, and all of a sudden this safety comes flying in and takes him out, lays him out on the ground, and Travis Hunter is out for the game. Major offensive and defensive component that really brings a lot of this Colorado team together, lost. Just like that, the game flips on its head, and clearly it shows. Shedeur, though, he held his own. He played great. 38 for 47, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Yes, those were kind of padded by the end of the game. Of course, I don't know if it counts the touchdowns in overtime. I'd assume it does. If that's being said, then 2 touchdowns come from overtime, which still isn't to be overlooked. Those are still touchdowns. That's ultimately the leading reason why they won. You have to get a touchdown to win the game. But 3 touchdowns came at the very end of the game. He kicked it into overdrive. He turned on his clutch mode. He showed that he even had one. But here's a big one. Here's a big stat for the Colorado State quarterback. He was 34 for 47, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. And it's like, you look at this, and it's like, how did Colorado not kick this team's ass even more? Colorado State had 4 turnovers, as well as they failed to convert 1 4th down, but that came at the very end of the game when they had to go for it, otherwise they'd lose. Colorado only had 2 turnovers. So it really is still scary that Colorado State won in the fashion that they did, considering Colorado State gave them opportunities, as well as, let's just Major stat. Colorado State had 16 penalties. I mean, 160 yards, 100 at the very minimum, 150 plus yards of penalties. That's a football field and a half. You can't afford that. But Colorado as well, 10 penalties. That's at minimum 90 plus yards of penalties. Truly ridiculous. Colorado State was 10 for 20 on third down efficiency. They had 20. They had 20 third downs. That's ridiculous. But Colorado was only 4 for 13. There was this guy who got ejected for targeting on Shedeur. I think it was targeting, because after all, he did lean in with the crown and the helmet, and they collided helmets, as well as he drove him into the ground, knowing he is a much bigger player. But, it's still football and whatnot. I just think the targeting was the right call because they did collide helmets. He got ejected on that play. It was confirmed that it was targeting. Apparently, that dude was just a beast on Shedeur. So that was a major problem. Ultimately, though, the reason why Colorado stayed in this game, from what I saw, was Shedeur was making a play in the pocket, rolling around, and then he just flings one deep, and the player catches it and dives in for a touchdown. And ultimately, it was just like, how did he get so damn open? How did he get so damn open? He was sitting there open, caught it, started to run, and then he dove to the end zone, and he got in, giving them the game-tying touchdown. Of course, they converted the 2-point conversion as well. But nonetheless, this was a fantastic game. However, we don't know what's going to happen to Travis Hunter. Like, what are the major takeaways of this game? The major takeaway is Colorado's pretty overrated. I mean, Shedeur played great. Sorry for the mic noise. Shedeur played great. He clutched up. But ultimately, guys, Colorado State's other loss is to Washington State. Washington State went into Colorado State and killed them. They killed them. I mean, they dropped 50. Colorado State dropped 24. Colorado should be absolutely annihilating this team. And now, if you want to use Travis Hunter as an example, we don't know when Travis Hunter's going to come back. We don't know how severe this injury could be. And if you're going to solely say, well, Colorado didn't have Travis Hunter, that's a major part, which it is, he might not be back next week. And who do they play? They play Oregon, right? He might not be back for that game. Colorado, if they're this helpless to where they're taking it into double overtime against Colorado State, then they're just not that good of a team all around. I don't doubt that Shedeur is a great quarterback. I don't doubt that they're a solid team. But for number 18, I don't think so, man. Now, I will say Colorado State had some damn momentum, and they were a bunch of bruisers in this game. They were putting Colorado players on their booties. But it's Colorado State that I'm seeing that are bruisers. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse when you go up against Oregon State, Utah, the teams with extremely solid defenses, even Washington. It's just going to get worse. Colorado might be a little bit overrated. Ultimately, they would just be entering the top 25 if TCU wasn't a ranked team. Like, if they just played somebody else in one and then played Nebraska in one, and then they played this, like, Colorado would just be entering the rankings. The only reason they're ranked right now is because they took down a ranked TCU team because they went to the national championship last year, and you can't say that a national championship team would be unranked the next year. Can't do it. That's the only reason Colorado's ranked right now, and that's facts. But I don't think – so the major takeaway for me is I don't think Colorado's a bad team. But Pac-12 championship, no. I say this team goes 5-loss, maybe 4 or 5-loss. Let's be real, guys. They have to play such tougher competition. This is a must-win. They won it, but this cannot be going into double overtime. 2 nail-biter games for Colorado to teams that aren't that good. Colorado State is 0-2 now. TCU just played like a close game against a bad Houston team. Like, it's just like Colorado needs to be winning these games by a lot more to show me that they're the number 18 team in the country. I get they have plenty of talent and they're a solid team, but they just lost one of their 2 Heisman candidates. Colorado might not be that good this year. Well, I mean, I say not that good, like they didn't go 1-11 last year, right? They will definitely bounce back so strong, but this is not their year. They might pick up a bowl win. They might be a 4 or 5 loss team. But ultimately, Colorado is probably not going to be fighting for the Pac-12 championship. Definitely not the college football playoff. And honestly, definitely not the Heisman. With Travis Hunter out, he loses some important games. Like, it's already hard enough for a non-quarterback to win the Heisman. It's always in favor of the quarterbacks, whether you agree with that or not. It's true. I mean, quarterbacks are always going to be favored for Heisman. And Travis Hunter was making it look better because he was playing on both ends of the ball. You lose a couple games, your stats get hit hard. And sadly, it's just going to ruin his chance at the Heisman. Shedeur, he's going to go up against stronger teams and have worse and worse games. They're not having a Heisman candidate. They're not winning the college football playoff. They're not going to the Natty. They're not winning the Pac-12 championship. They're not going. They might pick up a bowl win this year. That's my overall assumption after week 3 of Colorado. There's still plenty of time left. Colorado State, I don't even know. I think they just seriously played super fucking good today because of how much beef there was going into this game, and they were pissed. I don't think Colorado State would ever play like this against anybody else. But with that being said, that is what I saw from this game. Truly phenomenal game. Instant classic. I mean, instant classic, personally. That was a great finish to a game. So entertaining. And, yeah, definitely. It was definitely like an escape to reality from my Arizona State Sun Devils, which I will be talking about next in my next video. So with that being said, a like and subscribe would help. A comment always helps. And that's all for me. Adios.